Today I have a very interesting video for you. We are going to create a dynamic filter. Like for example, I want to look for Kenya. You see, it will filter that and only remain with what we've typed in our box here. So in case maybe I want to type something like South Africa, I get everything with a South, so I can choose whatever. Maybe I want South Africa or maybe South Sudan. Can look for something like Belgium. Yeah, we have Belgium, we have Belarus. Anything that has BEL will be filtered, and this should be interesting. I hope I'm not convincing enough. So let's see how we can be able to create this. But before we do that, let's start off with a very fresh table. Okay, let me create a new sheet. I want to create that one. So that will be a new sheet. Sheet 8. Actually, let's rename it to something like filter dynamic. Filter. Hit on enter. We can actually even give it a good color, like something almost that. So let's go back. I want to grab my data, highlight the first row there, control shift down, control copy, go back to our dynamic filter, right click. We are going to paste only the values. So let me make this thing a little bit bigger so that we can be able to see exactly what we are working with. Okay, so resize it. I actually like the first column being a little bit, the first row being a little bit big. So we're going to make that 12 and bold, and also let's have it in the middle like that. And I think we should just put a fill color, which I don't know which one should we put. Let's put green this time, and I'm going to put the borders, and then the thick outside border like that. I think that should be okay. Although this is just nonsense, I'm going to convert this into a table. Control copy. I want to create another version of, okay, let me just remove this so that everything fits inside here. So we have everything now well fitted. Can I think we're good to go. So we have the country name, everything. So I've copied the headers for this table, but before we even proceed, let's convert our data into a table. We do that by pressing on Control T, and you can see everything which is inside the table. Make sure everything is highlighted. So that's the data that we have. Then you can just click on OK like that, and we have this as the table. This table, I want to name it into, what do we call it? Countries. And because I have another table called countries, we can just call this countries 1. Hit on enter, and our table is named now. So what we're going to do right now is, first of all, to create a filter that will be able to take in whatever we're going to type inside this cell. Let's say, for example, we want to type Kenya. Let's just leave it at that. And then let's go to the country. Now let's go and create our filter formula. Now this filter will spill everything according to what we have here. So whatever will be typed here will be used by our filter to populate this other table that we created here. And the filter that you're going to create will nest two other functions, that is isNumber and search. So we're going to start off is equals to filter. Hit on the tab. So the array that we're going to filter is this one. So highlight the first row there, Control Shift down to highlight everything. So you see it was able to grab the name. So yep. And we're going to use the function isNumber like that, and we're going to nest search. We're going to nest search, and in our search we're going to search whatever will be typed in the cell, and we're going to look that in this first column. So Control Shift down to highlight everything, and now we can start closing our formulas comfortably. We close the search, we close isNumber, and we're going to close filter function. Hit on enter, and you can see this is what we get. So it used what we typed here to go into the whole of this table that you have here, grabbed all the other details, and it was able to fill them. Up to this point, I think we're okay. So let's try to look for something else and see whether this is working. Uganda. So we have Uganda. Let's see whether we can be able to like get something more entries. Yeah, so anything that has AN will be returned to our table. Let's put something like Bel. We have Belarus, we have Belgium. So anything. Okay, so let's type islands and see whether we are going to get Cayman. Iceland. Hit on enter. You can see we have anything that has islands. We have Cayman, we have this, we have Marshall, we have Solomon, we have British Virgin Islands. So this is definitely working. So if I delete everything like that, the filter will return everything that we have in this table. So what I'm going to do right now is now to create a tab that we'll be typing into. So that's what we're going to do. Make sure you have developer tab. If not, just right click anywhere on this ribbon, right click on it, then click on customize ribbon. It will take you all the way to this pop-up. Make sure that developer tab, this one, is checked. So if not, then check it and then click on OK. You should have developer tab. Click on it, then go to insert, and then for the ActiveX controls, I want this one. So click on it, and we're going to, first of all, let's just have it here. We're going to move it to maybe a better place. I think that should be okay up to that point. So if I click on design mode to deactivate design mode, I can type something here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use macro to paste whatever you are going to type in this box into this cell. And remember, this cell is linked to our filter function. So I hope you now understand where we are headed to. So what you need to do, click on design mode, double click on our tab there, and just make sure it's large enough. And this is what you're going to type in this module. Active sheet dot range. Now we specify the range. The range will be now the cell that you want to be typing in. If you remember well, that will be cell 01. So cell and make sure that is within the quotes. Cell 01, we cross the quotes, and then we're going to put a bracket in that. Dot value is equals to active sheet dot text box 1 dot value, and click on save, and make sure the sheet that you are working on is macro enabled. If not, then you can just click on file, just go to save as, choose whatever place that you want to save as, but when you are saving, make sure you click on Excel macro enabled workbook. So that will save even the code. In case maybe you have errors, make sure that you save that. So now after saving, we have now a button or our search field linked to that macro. Now that macro will be typing here everything that will be typed in this field, and we have a filter function going on here. So that filter function, if you remember, you can see the reference here. It will be able to pick whatever that's typed here, and I use that to bring the values from this table. So let's go back. Now we are still in design mode. We can move this a little bit higher. I want this here. I think it's okay up to that point. Now we should be good to go. Or maybe we can just make it a little bit longer. Now, why I have done that is to hide that cell that we are going to reference using our macro. Now, let's try to make it a little bit better looking. Click on insert, go to shape, go to whatever shape that looks good to you. I want this one. So I want to have this one covering almost every section there. Yeah. Okay. So we can just right click, go to send to back, so that at least you have this as the background. Right click on it, click on edit text. Now I want this to be search. Control all. I want this to be let's go to home. I want this almost at the middle, and let's try to make it a little bit larger like that, so that at least even if you're closing your eyes, you can be able to see whatever that is written there. So I think we are done with that. I can now go back to developer tab and I close the design mode. It's closed now. Let's go here, type anything. So you can see we are filtering. I'm sure you've seen an error. So this error, we're going to take care of it, so don't worry about it. So let's type like something like my favorite country, Kenya. We have Kenya, we have Uganda, we have South Africa. So let's see whether South Africa, we are going to pull up some South. Yeah, we have South Sudan, we have South Africa. Okay, do we have South Sudan and Sudan? Let's see. Oh yeah, we have Sudan and we have Southern Sudan. Okay, Comoros. Is it Comoros with a double M? No, yeah. So that's Comoros. USA. Yeah, so let me see the population in 1987. Oh wow, okay. Yeah, that's a number. It's a good number. Okay, so I think now we're good to go. Now we want to correct that error that we saw there. So let me type anything that's not within the table. So the reason we are getting this error is because whatever we've typed here is not within the table here. So what we are going to do, just go back to our filter and we are going to add a message in case maybe it will return something that's not within the table. Put a comma and then between the quotes type not. Okay, not. Hey, today I'm not good at typing. Not found. Found, like that, within the quotes. Hit on enter and now we're good. So in case maybe I type anything gibberish, I'm not going to get anything returned, but if I type Kenya, yeah, keep going back to Kenya. Why not? Oh, Zimbabwe. I don't know whether Zimbabwe or Zim. Okay, Zimbabwe. Oh, with one M. Zimbabwe. Oh, we have, okay, so anything that has Z and I is going to be returned. In the next one, I'm going to create a crazy filter such that I can use two variables, like I can use the country and the region to filter out whatever country that I want. Yeah, so maybe here I can make sure that the country is within Europe, and whatever country that's within Europe, I'm going to maybe look for Belgium. Yeah, that should be a very interesting one. So make sure you subscribe and also hit the notification bell on so that that video will find you in right time. Anyway, let's meet in the next one.